Corey, you know, we get really, really excited when Black Hollywood royalty is in the building.
Yes.
And I'm emphasizing royalty because not many can say that. Who is here, Corey?
I usually say Nia motherfucking Long, but I won't do that.
Please do that. Please do that.
Okay.
Then I feel like I'm really here.
Because I got it. It's Nia motherfucking Long.
Yes.
In the building.
I earned that title. I earned that.
You did. You really, really did.
Where do we begin? Nia, you have been everything to us. Your career, the longevity of it. I mean, I just can't remember a role, a movie, anything that I didn't cherish in some way. You know, even up until what you're working on right now with Fatal Affair. You just stay busy.
Listen, I have children to take care of, college tuition to pay for, and I like working. I like to feel like I've accomplished something. I like to feel like I'm growing. I love my art. I love my craft. I love, the opportunity to meet new artists. And I also love this new generation of filmmakers and actors. I'm very inspired by them. So I'll never stop working. I'll always be doing something, even if it's like, I always have this joke where I'm like, one day I'm going to go move back to the islands and have a little, juice bar and a little grill restaurant that just serves like, fresh grilled fish. And I'll just be there with all my grandchildren. And I talk about it all the time. Maybe one day it'll happen. Who knows?
You just
I see that for you. I know. I totally am there, and I'm gonna come live next door to you.
You totally can. I'm gonna get lonely out there. Like, I miss my girls.
We will be there. You just took me there. The visuals. I want to go there with you.
This life has been so interesting, and we've all had to. I feel like so many things are changing, but I do feel like Mother Nature is saying, "Wait a minute.
Yeah,
you've abused me. You've ignored me." And I'm going to force everyone to recalibrate. I'm going to force all of you to stop, to slow down, to get reconnected to truth and self so that we can recalibrate and redefine who we are and what our purposes are. Because people were I even felt the stress of just like this. Everything was just moving so quickly, and the demands and the pressure to like do something and be something. And then social media, when I was young, there was no social media. I'm still young, but when I was a girl, there was no social media.
Truth. Yeah. None of that.
I see it with my son who's 19. So he's right in that zone of, of being sort of led by social media. And every now and then I have to just take the phone. He's like, Mom, I'm almost 20. You can't really take my phone like that anymore. I'm like, yes, I can.
But they get hooked, and we were all hooked. We needed to pause.
We needed to pause, and we needed to think about what's important, what's not important. And everyone right now is equal.
Yeah.
You can't posture during COVID. Your ass is at home, just like my ass is at home.
Okay.
But not no meeting to go to. You don't have any place to go. If you do, it's a Zoom meeting, and you're creating that schedule. So let's just, I feel like people were constantly hiding and ducking and dodging the truth and having these sideline conversations that were, just manipulative and coming from a place of fear as opposed to being open and honest about their position, about the truth, about where I stand in the business. My belief is if you work hard, the blessings will come. And if you're not with me, then get out of my way. If you're not with me, you don't get it, please, bye, move. Because when I go to sleep at night, I know who I am in my soul and in my heart. And I know what I do to give back I'm very giving and open and kind and loving, but I don't give that to everyone. And I'm a girl from Brooklyn, so you can't really fool me like that. It's going down.
That's right.
Oh, I felt that in my soul, Corey.
I did too.
Oh, you know what that is? That's that thing where it's like, wait, I'm sorry, what?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, that leads me to ask, because the roles you take on are very special. So, but I'm curious now, what makes you say yes? But what made you say yes to being in Fatal Affair?
One of the things that I really loved about fatal affair was that I had never done a thriller. I've never explored this genre. And coming off of The Banker, which was very heavy, political, important material, I wanted to do something light and something that was just pure entertainment. And I thought to myself, wow, I've never done a thriller. I should do a thriller. And the next thing I knew, there was the script. The script was written for a non-African American cast. They changed it. I came on as a producer. I reached out to Omar Epps, and I reached out to Stephen Bishop, and we worked on the script with the director and the production company and the network, and we got it to a place where we felt like it was real to us. And we had to change character names and some of the dialogue and some of the things that happen to be a little bit, because my thing is in thrillers, you always feel like, why is she so dumb?
Like, sis, run that way. Run that way. Don't go upstairs.
Why is he so dumb? We see that I'm not buying certain things. And so, but there's also an interesting that happens in thrillers where there is a formula that people expect, whether it's conscious or subconscious, they expect things to happen in a certain way. So if you go too far away from it, you're losing them. So it's formulaic, it's a popcorn movie, it's, scary and suspenseful when it needs to be. Omar is fantastic. This was my way of saying, hey guys, the culture creators of the 90s, we're still standing.
Oh yeah.
And that is one of the reasons I wanted to have him as my leading man.
I won't give too much away, but then you find out later he's been loving you from afar for years.
Right.
Your character. So,
and how easily that can happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. The stalker thing is real. I had a stalker who showed up at my house one time.
Wait a minute.
What?
Say what?
But it was a woman. It was a Black woman who, and I hope she's not watching this, because I'm like, please don't come back.
Come back. I
know what the last time.
Oh my God.
And so I was not afraid, because I'm like, this is my property and my children are here, my family are here. And but the problem with her is she was so smart. She was a genius. So she actually went on social media and created this whole fake story about me and my family, and the FBI got involved and the NBA got involved. It was it was crazy. So I've been there, but I also, I think the film brings up one important thing, and that is check your mental health. If you're living in a state of delusion, then you need to get some help and some support. And, this is obviously an extreme story of someone with mental health issues, but I do think, since I have the platform, let's just say that I think Black women are a lot more open to therapy than Black men.
It's true.
And I think I have a therapist who I love, and it's important to me. And I feel like in order for us to recreate what it means to be family, and for us to have those conversations with our children in a real way, there's a lot of healing that needs to be done with us as Black women, with each other.
Oh yeah.
With Black men separately, and then Black men with Black women.
Truly. And it all begins with conversation about these things, right? We have to talk about it, and any means necessary. So if the movie sparks the conversation, right? If it's at dinner, no matter how we get there, we have to talk about it. And I love that we can do it through watching things on the screen, and then what do you do when you watch a great movie? You say, wasn't they crazy? Oh, actually, no, he wasn't crazy. He was disturbed. And you know what I mean? And that's how those conversations happen. So thank you for that. Yeah, it's very good.
Yeah. And I think there's a lot, there are a lot of those stories where women just hold it in and don't say anything, because they think in some sort of way that they caused that by being sexual beings. We are beautiful sexual beings, and we shouldn't have to hide that to protect ourselves. That doesn't make any sense.
I also love in the film how real the not so great marriage moment is, right? Like,
Yeah.
we understand the realities of that, and your husband in the film saying marriage is a series, not one event, right? And there's going to be good days and bad days. And I really love that authenticity there, because I think, like you were saying, like making this movie, this plot your own, because so often we used to see, particularly with other movies, it's just like everything's cookie cutter, everything's perfect. And I love the real life aspect there, particularly with marriage.
Thank you. I think, look, marriage is, love is complicated. Let's just start there.
Mm-hmm.
And then you start a marriage, which I've never been married, and there's a reason for that, because I don't know that I need to say I do to prove to you that I love you. But also, what is marriage really? That you own me now and I own you? Well, I don't get that part. I understand the religious aspect of marriage. That is beautiful and it's fantastical and it's, it's dreamy and it's, every girl's fantasy to have that moment. But I don't know that I need that to feel like I'm in a partnership that's working. But I do know that everyone in a long-term relationship has had the feeling where the spark is gone.
Stranger mode.
Yes.
And like, who are you?
Yeah. And really feeling lonely in a relationship, which is the worst thing you can feel. To be in a commitment and you still feel lonely, I'd rather be lonely by myself, because then you're kind of looking at the other person going, is he okay or is she okay? Is this a good day or a bad day? No one has time for that. So that's where I think these two people are in their marriage. They're just, he's very loving in the movie. Like, Steven is such a good actor, and he was more loving than I actually thought he was going to be. But when we cut the film together, the network really liked that he was loving and kind to just sort of balance out the two different men in the film.
I did appreciate that, because I was expecting him to like stay angry when everything came out. But I was like, no, he's really still here for her. And it felt like, to your point, Charlie, felt really authentic.
Yeah.
And really beautiful. And then also very beautiful, that house. I mean, this.
Where is the set? Can I go quarantine there?
How long did you live there? Like, can I have it?
We shot there for a month, and I drove an hour to get to work every day. And it was far, but once you got there, it was so worth it. And beautiful house owned by a couple down there who had retired, and they were just renting their house and making a ton of money, and a lot of stuff shoots there apparently. And we were originally supposed to shoot the film back east, and then for whatever reason, I guess all the cast was here, and it's like, well, we might as well shoot here. And I was happy for that, because it's always hard balancing the kids and moving around. So yeah, when I grow up, I wouldn't mind a house on the beach in Malibu.
Again, I'll be your neighbor. Yes. Nia, I know we don't have a ton of time with you, but before we wrap this one thing I want to thank you for, right, is I think Corey and I talk about this all the time on the show. It's so nice as Black women to be able to see every side of ourselves on screen. Right. And we all, sometimes I feel like there's 8 Black women in me. Right. And I don't know which one's going to come out. And I thank you for always choosing roles that no matter what your character is doing, we see some part of ourselves or our friend or our sister in those roles. Right. And I think growing up with that made us feel more comfortable being whatever one of those people or Black women was inside of us. And I just want to thank you for that, because it's really special to Black women.
That is like the most amazing compliment that I've ever received. And you're going to make me cry.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's so true though.
No, because you guys, I work my ass off for that. I want that for us.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know how difficult it is to maneuver in this world.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Looking the way we do, speaking the way we do, and all of it is beautiful. But the pressure to have to adjust who we are.
Yes.
to be accepted wears on your self-esteem. It wears on your confidence. It wears on your sense of knowing who you are and your truth. What I think is great about right now is we're really in a time where we get to be whoever we want to be and who we really are. And there's a big fight ahead of us to keep battling and to keep using our voices and to keep being as Black as we want to be, and to stand for Breonna Taylor, and to commit to ourselves in a way that our ancestors committed to themselves, to push forward. I am so proud of the community of young people who are on the front lines. I really am. I really feel like, okay, they learned something from the 60s and the 70s. They learned something. They saw what was happening, but they also are living it. They're also living and experiencing the discrimination. And the world is opening up. And I just hope that, you know, when I was a little girl, my mother used to send me we lived in Iowa, which was the Midwest. I was the only little Black girl at my school. Maybe there might have been like 5 Black kids in a school with 300 kids. And my mother used to send me to school with this big Angela Davis afro. And I remember hating my hair because all the, you know, we'd go, I was a brownie, and we would go on these field trips. And one of the field trips was to Supercuts.
I remember Supercuts.
And everybody
was that a field trip? But go ahead.
Girl, everybody had their cute little fringe with their little highlighted golden locks. And the white girl that got me, I just remember her face. She was like,
what am I gonna do?
What am I supposed to do? And she did not know what to do with my hair. I was traumatized. And on the way out, as we were leaving the field trip, there was a bouquet of flowers, and she took some baby's breath off because my hair looked crazy. She should have just gave me an afro and called it a day, but she tried to curl it and blow dry it, and it just did not go well. But she took dried up baby's breath and put it in my hair to try to make me feel better. And I just remember feeling so unattractive, so ugly. I wanted to be different. I didn't want to be white, but I wanted to feel like I fit into my environment, right? And then came South Central Los Angeles. And then I was like, Johnson, Angela Davis, Afro, Black Panther, and I just blossomed because my mother never wavered.
Yeah.
She taught me really young to appreciate everything. And my father too, who's a poet, everything Black was amazing. And the Black experience was not going to be like any other experience in this country. And to stand for what you believe in, and to know that the way you look is beautiful no matter what. And so to see where we are in the world now, I feel like, okay, thank you, Mommy and Daddy, for giving me the tools to speak up.
And the confidence.
Oh, thank you. And we see that confidence on
You made
screen.
me cry.
Thank you. I know. That's what Charlie does.
But Nia, seriously, thank you. Thank you. Tori and I just thank you for choosing to come on the show and spend some time with us and open up.
You guys are so cute.
It was a love fest.
Anytime. I'll come talk to y'all anytime.
Thank you.